Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Unlimited, Bob Hoover Memorial Celebration of Life, aviation's friend Ron Alexander perishes in a plane crash, White House opposes Flytenow Supreme Court hearing. I'm Bree Cross. It's November 21st, 2016, and this is Airborne Unlimited. Some 1,500 people attended the celebration of life for Robert A. Bob Hoover at Clay Lacy Aviation last Friday. The event was everything we expected, inspiring, sad, funny, and filled with a spirit created by the combined friendships enjoyed by so many people with one of America's greatest flyers. It was a proper send-off for an extraordinary man, and the flyovers were some of the most uplifting we've ever seen. ANN's live stream production, however, turned out to be the most challenging project we've ever attempted. But as thousands of people all over the world can attest, the wonder of Bob's life was shared with them live in real time. Next, though, is the immense undertaking necessary to produce a proper finished program out of all the live and other video recorded in order to offer a tighter and more polished presentation above and beyond what's available in a live format. We're working on that now, and we'll post those programs upon completion. Regardless of what it took, this opportunity to serve Bob's memory and the aviation community all over the world was an incredible honor and privilege. The aviation community has lost another of its icons. A World War I era JN4D Curtiss Jenny crashed last week at Candler Field in Pike County, Georgia, resulting in the fatal injury of its two occupants. One of those on board was Candler Field Principal Ron Alexander, according to the Pike County Journal-Reporter and other sources. It's reported an FAA official was also on board the plane, but at this time that person has not been identified. Alexander was an Air Force pilot and former instructor pilot for Delta Airlines. He founded the Alexander Airplane Company in 1979 in Griffin, Georgia, which became a major supplier of materials for airplane builders and restorers. He also owned the Stitz Polyfiber Company for several years. Alexander later founded the Candler Field Museum to document the history of the old Atlanta airport, which had originally been named Candler Field. Ron was a great friend to ANN, and all of us here are keeping Ron and his family in our thoughts during this difficult time. After the break, Flytenow rideshare plan faces more hurdles.
Redbird Flight Simulations is dedicated to revolutionizing flight training by designing, manufacturing, and delivering affordable and innovative flight training technologies. Each Redbird device is designed to enhance the training experience for pilots of all levels, from student to ATP. Redbird is quickly becoming the industry standard for flight training. Since Redbird introduced its revolutionary FMX in 2007, colleges, universities, and flight training operations around the world have integrated Redbird products into their curriculum. It's time to discover what Redbird can do for you. Join the migration.
Based on the popular Sling 2 LSA, the Sling 4 was designed to be the most practical and desirable lightweight four-place experimental aircraft on the market. Find out more about this 115 horsepower turbocharged airplane at airplanefactory.com.
There's a difference between charting a steady course and pushing for the ceiling. And for nearly a century, Hartzell Propeller has been defining that difference. It's in our passion for engineering and research and our dedication to testing the limits of performance. We are built on honor. We are Hartzell Propeller.
Build and fly with the most exciting line of kit aircraft on the market, the Sonex Aircraft B models. The B models offer more room and comfort, more fuel, more panel space, more engine choices, and the same great Sonex Aircraft flight characteristics. Learn more at sonexaircraft.com.
Welcome back. If you would like to be a supporter of Airborne Unlimited, send an email to jim@aero-news.net. The Obama administration has advised the U.S. Supreme Court that it should let a ruling of the D.C. Circuit stand and not take up the case of Flytenow, which is planned to be a web-based service through which pilots offered seats on private airplanes to people willing to share the expense of the flight. When the site was closed down last year, the government said that Flytenow was acting as a common carrier, much like a scheduled airline. Common carriers must use commercial pilots, and Flytenow violated the common carrier rules by allowing private pilots to offer rides to people who wanted to go where they were going. Flytenow appealed the FAA ruling but was not successful. Flytenow is supported by some consumer groups, but the National Air Transport Association is taking the position that this sort of online sharing of general aviation travel with a non-commercial qualified pilot in airplanes that are not required to meet commercial operation standards could be dangerous to the flying public. This battle has been going on for a while, and we will keep you updated. Each week we share with you an online video that one of our viewers found especially entertaining. We call it our Aero Video of the Week.
Final liftoff of Atlanta.
We've all seen that small video cameras can give us fascinating views of aerobatic pilots performing maneuvers. However, in this video, we watched Spencer Sutterman perform aerobatics with a new camera perspective. Search Aerobatics, a new perspective on YouTube. After these messages, Republic Airways files for Chapter 11 reorganization.
Concorde's recombinant gas RG series sealed battery technology produces a high-performance battery with the advantages of being pre-tested and fully charged at the factory. Find out more about Concorde's entire line of batteries at www.concordebattery.com. Concorde, the heart of your aircraft.
The Bristol Light Sport aircraft is what you are looking for. The Bristol is wider than a Cirrus, faster than a Skyhawk, offers more storage than a Husky, and comes standard with Garmin avionics. So what are you waiting for? Visit Bristol.com to find out how you can get into a Bristol today.
Sandia introduces the new SAI 340 Quattro TSO'd airspeed, attitude, altitude, and slip. With integral backup battery, safety never looked so good. See it now at www.sandia.aero.
Explore no limits flying in the FAA-certified Sea Ray Amphibious LSA, one of the top 3 best-selling LSAs in the U.S. Progressive Aerodyne Sea Ray comes equipped with a Rotax engine and exhibits extraordinary handling on land, water, and in the air. Check it out at www.searay.com.
Welcome back. With so much news coming out of the aviation industry, we're summarizing some other interesting stories in a brief segment we call Around the Patch. Republic Airways has announced that it has filed a plan of reorganization with the U.S. Bankruptcy Court for the Southern District of New York. The plan sets a course for the company to emerge during the first quarter of 2017. The second annual Drone World Expo attracted 2,711 commercial drone professionals this week to the San Jose Convention Center. In addition to the exhibits, the Drone World Expo offered education programs and featured numerous guest speakers. The NTSB has scheduled an investigative hearing as part of the agency's investigation of a fatal July 30, 2016 hot air balloon accident. The pilot and 15 passengers aboard a hot air balloon died when the balloon crashed near Lockhart, Texas. A Boca Raton flight-based school has recently expanded its operation, opening a new location at Central Florida's Orlando Executive Airport. The Beach Aviation Academy will be filling the void following the failure of a large flight school previously located on this airport. An airworthiness directive has been issued for the Rotax 912A series of aircraft engines. This AD results from mandatory continuing airworthiness information regarding a manufacturing defect found in certain carburetor floats that can cause the engine to shut down. Well, that's the trip around the patch. Now let's move on to the rest of the news. 1 month after launching from NASA's Wallops Flight Facility in Virginia, orbital ATK Cygnus cargo spacecraft is set to leave the International Space Station today, November 21st. On its way back to Earth for a destructive entry into the atmosphere, this spacecraft will be involved in an unusual experiment. 5 hours after departing the station, the Sapphire 2 experiment will intentionally ignite a fire inside a module aboard the spacecraft. The second in a series of 3, the experiment allows researchers to study a realistic fire on an exploration spacecraft. Results could determine microgravity flammability limits for several spacecraft materials, validate NASA's material selection criteria, and help scientists understand how microgravity and limited oxygen affect flame size. NASA says the investigation is important for the safety of current and future space missions. Cygnus will also release 4 Lemur CubeSats from an external deployer on Friday, November 25th. Well, that's our program for today. Remember that Airborne Unlimited is streamed daily, Monday through Friday, with additional breaking news bulletins for important stories that fall outside of our normal deadlines. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe, and don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Get comprehensive real-time 24/7 coverage of the latest aviation and aerospace stories anytime at aero-news.net. We'll see you tomorrow.